Hi everyone, I'm Luis from LuisReviews.com here, welcoming you to a new video blog, and also will be available on my podcast. So this is a new video that I'm going to be doing track by track, where I basically just pick an album and just go through it track by track. I've done it for the GNR records, and I did it for the Paul McCartney new album. Those are already available um, on my on YouTube channel and another podcast. Now here today, I wanted to use my brand new Beatles T-shirt and take a look. It's not a Beatles record, but it's of one of them, and it's John Lennon's Plastic Ono Band. Now the album just been released in a special edition, just like the Imagine one was before, and it was released in April to celebrate its 50th anniversary, which was in 1970. I'm betting it was because of COVID, it was laid back to be released in 21. I don't know if you got the new issue. I got it, and it sounds amazing. The bonus tracks are great. There is a section where it's John jamming with the band, and it's priceless. Just to listen to John jamming with Ringo and Klaus, which basically was the band that played on this album. So after I mean, when you take a look at the Beatles, it's Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper and the grandiose of their sound, and you take a look. I remember when I first heard this record, it was so simple, and just like McCartney. McCartney was simple too. I mean, it was just Paul and his guitar, and here John just goes with him playing guitar or piano, Ringo on drums, and Klaus on bass. And I think the only other people that played was Phil Spector, who played a beautiful piano on the song Love, and Billy Preston on the song God. So that's basically the band for this record, and some song where John just plays the guitar on his own. So considering that, I mean, when you look at the Plastic Ono Band and a little history of it, it was released in December 1970. It reached number 6 in the US and number 8 in the UK. And some people, based on what I've read and some things that I've heard, or some people consider this one of his best album. Not in my view. I like the record. It's not my favorite of John's solo records. But I wanted to look at it because when I bought this reissue, I just kind of got to re-listen to it, and I got to see a few high points or good points that maybe I didn't see before. What I do like about this record, and I admire John Lennon a lot for it, I don't think at that time a superstar like John Lennon opened up in any way. I mean, this record, he opens up about everything. I mean, you read the lyrics and you see a man who is letting you in to what he went through, and it's not subliminal. I mean, it's right there. It's direct. Yes, it's raw. You can either agree with him or not, but he's expressing it. And I will be. There are some things in the album which I don't agree, but I admire his artistic freedom to say it, and I love him, and I love the music for it, because I don't think everyone has the strength or the courage to say some of the things he says on this record. So I just got it on vinyl. This is a special edition. It's a double vinyl. Look at the sender. This John Lennon as a kid, and you get basically the normal the album, and an album of outtakes. So this is the 50th anniversary reissue. And I'm gonna use this to go through the tracks. Let's go do that now. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, my cat wanted to to get out of the room. Anyway, so let's start. Let's go right down to it. The album begins with a song called Mother, and if you analyze, or if you have seen the John Lennon Imagine documentary, or even the Beatles anthology, you will see that the death of John Lennon's mother had a huge effect on him. He has always, I mean, he's never been shy of expressing that. He says it in many interviews that he was really devastated when he lost his mother. Or the way he expresses this is that he lost her twice, when he was younger and then when she actually died. So the first song that we get is Mother. And it's a simple song. I think John is on piano, Klaus on bass, and Ringo on drums. By the way, Ringo, I mean, so underappreciated as a drummer. I mean, he is amazing on this record. So the song Mother, I think, is beautiful in the sense that, I mean, the raw in John's voice, the emotion in it, especially towards the last part when he's screaming for his mother to come home, and for his father. Um, I mean, you had the two verses, the main verses, which is basically saying, uh, "Mother, you had me, but I never had you," and the same thing with the father. So it's an amazing song, filled with a lot of emotion. I think John, one of his talents is that he's just such a great singer, and you can feel every word with his voice. I just love it, and I've come to love that song more now. I mean, that I think I did back when I first heard the record many years ago. The second track is called "Hold On," and this is a hopeful John. I mean, in the middle of this crazy record, or all these feelings involved in this record, and he's basically just saying, that it's gonna be all right. And it's a nice little guitar melody, and such a nice mellow little song, beautifully performed by the band. Um, Great lyrics. I mean, great lyrics by John. Simple track again, and it's very personal. I mean, he's even, hold on, John, hold on, Yoko. So he's letting you into his life at that time. Now the third track. Now this one is tough. This one is tough. Even the sound of the guitar is kind of distorted, uh, and it's got a raw because it's not lead and rhythm as Jim. And it's called "I Found Out." Now the lyrics on the song. I think when you listen to it and you listen to the famous Rolling Stone interview, I think this is John basically frustrating, saying, uh, because he expressed at that time that he hated the whole image of the Beatles, and how they made him be something. I don't know to what extent. I didn't live it. Uh, I think they all. George grew tired of it too. Maybe they were kind of drawn into it and they didn't even notice, maybe. But John resented that fact, the whole image and all that. And I think this song is basically saying that I found out, and you won't. He even said it, that you don't get me twice. I think he said it on the booklet of the John Lennon anthology. Is the quote. So this song is really tough. I mean, you get, that he found out. You know, it just is such a sincere lyrics. I've seen through junkies. I've been through it all. I've seen religion from Jesus to Paul. That's John for you. So this is a very. I mean, I come to love it now, um, and it's just a great track, and really raw. I have to say. The fourth track is "Working Class Hero." Now, this is a song that I love and I admire, and I agree with everything he says on that song. I mean, the way that he begins, by saying that when we're born, we're meant to feel small. Um, that they hurt you at home and they hate you at school. They hate you if you're clever, and they despise a fool. I mean, these are just great lyrics by John, and I think this is one of the best songs on this album. I mean, "Working Class Hero" is something to be. I think lyrically, John was right on point, and even on the guitar. I mean, it's just him and the guitar. I don't think anyone else plays on this particular track. Um, so I think it's such an amazing track. It was really something different because he actually uses a few bad words on that song. that it says omitted on the lyric sheet at the insistence of EMI. So it was. I love that song. I've always loved that one. I think it's just such a great song. I love the lyrics. Um, I really love what he's expressing on that one. I really really do like it. And the last song on side one is called Isolation. Now this song took me a while to actually like it. I mean, I got it. I liked it more now. I think the whole record maybe took me. I mean, I loved it when I first heard it, but I think I appreciate it more now, having seen more about John's life and how he basically was writing what he was really feeling on this record, and something he kept going as a solo artist. I think he started as a Beatle, but it didn't quite flourish until he became a solo artist. I mean, songs like Help, Strawberry Fields, Across the Universe, they always felt like those were personal tracks by John uh, within the Beatles. So Isolation is really honest in the way that they felt. And when you look at how they were treated, I mean, how John and Yoko were treated when the Beatles broke up, they must have felt isolated. I mean, right or wrong, whether you're a fan, I mean, a fan of Yoko as an artist, it's that's not relevant. He loved her, and that's it. But imagine, I mean, if it happened to me and I get married and everywhere I go, all I hear is people insulting her. It has to be hard. And coming from all circles, based on obviously on what he's expressed in interviews, it has to be tough. And he's saying that in this song. I mean, basically, he's basically saying that. And in the bridge, that I don't expect you to understand after you caused the pain. I think he's not telling you like in unforgiveness. He's just saying, do you? I mean, and this is all my interpretation. You know, like we all do with art. I'm obviously not talking how he really felt because I don't know how John Lennon felt. Anyway, but what I could feel of the song, it's really. I mean, he's really being sincere, and it's a beautiful song. And if you listen to it, I mean, the great John Lennon saying we're afraid of everyone, afraid of the sun, isolation. People say we got it made, but don't they know we're so afraid? Um, it's really, like I said, I admire so much John as a songwriter because he could have gone the same path that Paul went and made hits, but he decided to. And I'm not knocking Paul. I think John decided to do something else with his music, and he achieved success in another way than Paul. So this closes side one. Uh, Look at this, how cool! You can see the lyric sheet, and the back cover. John as a little kid. So now we get side two. Now side two begins with Remember, and this song I like it a lot, but I feel like it because it's basically the same beat. I feel like it drags like a long track for such short lyric, but I love it. It is based on a coda on the piano that John wrote for the song Something, which the Beatles never used. I wish I knew exactly how that piano thing fitted on the song Something because they mentioned it on the Abbey Road 50th anniversary issue, but they didn't include it on the bonus tracks. I wish they would have, but they didn't. So this is a song again when John is looking back at his childhood, and again, talking about his mother and father, stardom, and so it's a good song. I really like it. Um, like I said, if I think it's one of the longest. It does drag on a little bit, but I still love it. It's a great record. It's a great song. And the next song on the album is called Love. Now this is kind of like uh, it, the least maybe personal because it is like a love song. Um, and uh, it's a beautiful song. John plays beautiful on the guitar, and Phil Spector added a beautiful piano. It's a simple lyric, love is real, real is love, but within its simplicity, it's just such a beautiful piece of work by John Lennon. The next two songs on the record are my least favorite. I don't. Well, well, well. Is a nice little rock little track, which I think is cool. But I'm not. I don't like it that much. I mean, I like it, but it's the one song that I usually skip of the record. And so look at me. I think those two songs are good, but are the weakest of the album. I think the repetitiveness of the lyrics is what I kind of drags me down a little bit on the "Look at Me" song. But again, it is a nice song. I'm not knocking it down. I'm just being objective and honest. And those two songs I usually skip them. Not always, but most of the time. On the next track is the controversial one. Well, not controversial one, but it's called God, and it begins with a statement which I don't agree with, uh, but I understand where he's coming from. I understand why he's saying it, and I cannot judge him for singing it. But I do want to say that me as a personal and my religious beliefs, I don't agree with it wholly, but I do love the song though. Uh, I love it. The melody is gospelly like, and John said that he wanted it like that. Billy Preston played beautiful on the piano on that one. Um, Ringo drums, and of course the lyrics and the vocals from John. So it's really, I mean, it's really he just basically takes what everybody's belief system is, and basically just says he doesn't believe in it. I mean, he takes magic, the I Ching, the tarot, the Bible, Jesus, Kennedy, and then he finishes with he just doesn't believe in Elvis, Zimmerman, which is Bob Dylan, and in Beatles. Um, so I don't agree, and I do believe at least in Jesus and the Bible. But I understand what he's saying in terms of believing in Elvis, Zimmerman, and the Beatles. And I love his statement where he says, I believe in me. And again, the Beatles, I mean, when you took it Abbey Road and you get the end, it's such an amazing way to say goodbye in a way. Even though Let It Be was released after, we all know that Abbey Road was the last recorded. And they ended with an amazing song, The End, which Paul wrote, of course. And here comes John. I'm going to be honest. The dream is over. I mean, song is heartbreaking. And it's a message to John, to the fans, basically. And it's just saying, that the dream is over. It's saying, I was a dream weaver, but now I'm reborn. I was the walrus, but now I'm John. And this is what, and again, it's his voice that gets to you. When it says, and so, my dear friends, you just have to carry on. Beautiful. I mean, when you take that last part of it, it's just such an amazing statement. Um, and again, courage by John. None of the other Beatles expressed themselves in this honesty, I think, in my opinion. And the last track, it's really simple. It lasts only a minute, and it's one of my favorites on the album. Obviously, you wish that his mother was not dead, so he wouldn't have to sing it. But and the song is "My Mom Is Dead." It's such a beautiful. I mean, John must have hid his pain for so many years that it took him. I mean, I think he wrote this when he was 30. Uh, it took him 30 years to maybe get it all out, and it's such a beautiful lyric, and it's written as if he was a kid. I mean, the lyrics are so like childlike. My mom is dead. I can't get it through my head. I can't explain so much pain. It's such a touching song, and it's kind of recorded. Uh, I don't know the sound of it. The sound of the guitar is so melancholy, and again, I just believe that it's no artist, in my opinion, has ever opened up and made an album where, yes, I mean there have been autobiographical albums like Elton John's Captain Fantastic and something like that else, but I don't think lyrically and without subliminal, I mean being direct, no one, in my opinion, has done it like John. And I think he has done it on most of his records, in some way or another. But this one is just such a particular a record. So that's the track by track of the Plastic Ono Band, uh, by one John Lennon. I hope you enjoy it. If you have not gotten the 50th anniversary issue, I think it's very well worth it. And there's a book on it. I have the book. There is a big one with 8 CDs and Blu-rays, and has a book kind of similar to the one that you get on the John Lennon Give Me Some Truth Hits box set. Now I got the simple one because I had the book. The book I bought it last year, so I didn't feel like I needed the big one. But a great production. The sounds great, and it's an unbelievable Lennon record. So see you on the next track by track.